please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Warami Nalawa. Hello and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you all here today. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated, particularly by our elders. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. As such, he enrolled his daughter, Maria, into the Native Institution, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie himself, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. She studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and became known as the Blackstown, where present-day city of Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. For your progress progresses us all. Your advancement is our advancement. Now that was perhaps more readily understood in traditional times when camps were smaller and clan groups abided by the strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the whole community. And you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we do it right. Our Aboriginal ancestors lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a benchmark or a model on how good we could expect our lives today. See, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he had met in the world. And that man had just come back from Tahiti. Right? But he said they had nothing but the tools that they carried. They made shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down and harvested food from the land without tilling the earth. In traditional times, everyone was accorded rights to the country or clan area where he or she was born into. So there was no homelessness and no rich and poor either. Everyone had pretty much the same amount of gear, what you could carry. There were no armies or jails, no police even, no history of slavery or empire building. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state. Rivers were clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of the creeks here as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. Now remember, this is not an ideal, this was normal life. And I don't think there's any reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. So I would say, expect great things and do great things. I'd encourage you to share your gifts with the rest of us and your skills, because together we can put together a country and a future that's worthy of our children again. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by getting off now and letting you good people graduate. Thank you for your time and listening to me, and congratulations to all of us and all the best in our collective futures. Have a lovely day. Welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, well, first of all, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I can hear and see that we have a number of tiny tots with us today and also a few babies. Now, one thing is certain in a very long ceremony, and today it will be fairly long because on my quick count there are 197 graduands. No, there's a vacant seat there, 196 people who have to graduate. And during that time it's inevitable that little children will make a noise or babies will cry. And what we usually find is that the parents or the grandparents position themselves near the back exits so that when their children make a noise, they can beat a hasty retreat. Now let me assure you, you do not have to do that. We would actually much prefer that you stayed. It doesn't matter how loud a baby cries. We've all heard babies cry before. We actually like them here because from experience we have learned that a baby who cries throughout a graduation ceremony is back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. So please don't worry about it. Well now, it's my very great privilege as Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this very important ceremony. First, I welcome our graduands, all 196 of you, and I hope that today will be a very happy and a very memorable occasion for all of you. But it will only be a happy occasion if you all just relax. Some of you look happy and relaxed. Some of you look quite nervous, as though you are about to go into the exam room rather than collect a degree. Nothing can go wrong today. You have all passed your exams, or so I'm told. The very worst thing that can happen is that this can fall off when you come up to be presented. If it does, we'll just plonk it back on your head. I suppose the worst thing that can happen, and it has happened, is that people actually fall over, particularly young ladies in those big high heels. But we have that covered. If you do fall over, that's why these people are here. They pick you up and we send you on your way. So please just sit back, relax and make sure it's a great day, because you deserve to enjoy the day, you deserve to take pride in your graduation, because completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind, you need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. Today I also want to welcome, and especially welcome, those of you over this side or sitting behind our graduands who are here as their invited guests. Because if you think about it for a moment, you've all obviously done well too. The very fact that you're here, the fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. So mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, husbands and wives, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers or whatever you are, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. And I don't want you to think either that observing today's graduation is the end of your role, because I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, I hope it won't come as a surprise to you to learn that Macquarie University is not one of those 50 universities. We're relatively young. In fact, only this year we celebrate our 50th Jubilee. But in those 50 years, we've come a long way. We now have graduates living in more than 140 countries, and we are about to celebrate, either this week or early next week, our 150,000th graduate. So that will be quite a milestone. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities and are continually extending our research, our course offerings and improving our facilities. We're always trying to engage with the world around us. We've forged strong alliances with the community and with industry and are keen to establish more. On your way here this afternoon, you may have seen some of those relatively recently acquired facilities. Our new Macquarie University Hospital, for example, just about 3 years old, a fabulous addition to the university. We are the only university in Australia with its own private hospital, and as well as its primary function of treating sick people, we have about, I think, 180 beds, it also is used by the students and the professional and academic staff in our School of Advanced Medicine. But it really is a first-class hospital. I can attest to that from personal experience. I spent 3 days as a patient there late last year, and I can assure you the care and attention is absolutely first-rate, especially if you're the Chancellor. So I can recommend it to you. You might also have seen our fabulous library, which is, I still call it new, but I think it's about 2 years old now, or our new Advanced Hearing Hub, which was opened last year and is a world-leading institute dedicated to advances in hearing, speech and language sciences. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Thank you.
Chancellor, I call on Mr. John Zorzetto, who is graduating today with a degree of Bachelor of Arts with a degree Bachelor of Laws with honours, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Mr. Zorzetto.
Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and guests, I'm deeply humbled to have been asked to speak here today. To begin, I would like to unreservedly congratulate each graduand on this auspicious occasion. Despite the many trials, legal and otherwise, that we have faced in reaching today, it is evident that we have all succeeded. Each of you sits here because of your hard work and dedication, a fact that I believe the people who surround us can attest. Today we are being recognised for completing the priestly 11, for the many hours of reading some of the thickest and most expensive textbooks, for the multitude of calories we have consumed from groceries we misleadingly call study food. But above all, we are being recognised today for our knowledge of the law, for our ability to bring legal analysis to factual scenarios. Impressive skills, ones we should be proud of, and ones I hope will hold us in good stead throughout our lives. However, our achievement today should not obscure the underlying debt that each of us owes. And it is this topic of debt that I mean to spend the balance of my speech on. Rest assured, I will not be speaking about the accumulated health debt that will be sufficiently spoken for on any number of our pay slips for years to come. Rather, the debt I want to speak about is the debt that by and large is manifest in this room today. Perhaps our most outstanding debt is that owed to our parents and those who have raised us. We have borne the benefit of their love, their support, and their sacrifices. They have provided us with a nomos, a secure grounding from which we have been able to engage with each other, with ideas, and with society. Later we may have come to and may yet challenge our received values, ideas, and aspirations. But the people that we have grown and aspire to be were only made possible because of you. Thank you. Personally, it is only because of my parents' willingness to drive me at 4:30 on a Friday afternoon to university so I could hand in my assignments by 5 p.m. sharp that I am here today. And it would be therefore remiss of me not to take this opportunity to thank my mother Liz, my father Bob, and my sister Helen for your unyielding support. I'm so fortunate to have your love, guidance, and friendship. And it is without a doubt in my mind that every graduate here would relish this opportunity to thank their family and everyone who has supported them. Beyond our families, there are two other debts I would like to mention. One is to the academics who have taught us, who have overseen our development, who have inspired and challenged us. You may ask, what debt do we owe them? Our fees have been paid for, and they have taught us. The contract to educate has been executed, and termination through completion. But I urge you not to see the conferral of your degree not as recognition for past achievements, but as the conferral of a privilege, an investment in learning. The debt we owe to our academics is a debt of excellence, a quality they have urged us to pursue in all our work. It is the hallmark of who we are as scholars. And amongst all the academics I've personally had the pleasure and opportunity to learn under, I would like to take the time to thank just one, and I hope after this ceremony I have the opportunity to thank all my other lecturers. To Dr. Margaret Kelly, I'm very much indebted to all that you have done for me, for all your help, encouragement, and support. This debt of excellence that we owe our academics underscores one last debt, a debt I think we owe society. With our knowledge of the law, we enter a privileged class of people. It means we will come to work with all manner of people in all manner of circumstances. In discharging this debt, excellence requires rigour in work and, above all, integrity. attributes that underscore the degree that we are being awarded today. I have not reflected on the many wonderful memories that have been created under the shadow of Macquarie's brutalist architecture. Between first-year law camp and final drinks at the U-Bar. I trust, though, that tales of surviving law school will be told today and further embellished in years to come. In conclusion, thank you, family, friends, and academics. Though I note that being family or an academic doesn't preclude you from being a friend. We owe you a debt that I hope throughout our lives we come close to repaying. And graduates, class of 2014, congratulations. I wish you every success in your futures.
Well, congratulations, John, on a fine speech, and congratulations on your double degree of a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws with honours. You're clearly a man of good judgment. You clearly chose your parents well, so I congratulate you on that. Where are Mum and Dad? Congratulations. And I'm sure that we'll have a continuing association with you at Macquarie, and good luck. I'm sure you're going to make a great lawyer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now... and by the way, there are some debts that it's almost impossible to repay during your lifetime, but I can assure you, you'll pay off your HECS debt before you know. You really will. It's not a burden. You will pay it off very, very quickly, I can assure you of that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to that part of the ceremony, which is the key part of the ceremony, the reason that we're here, and that's the conferring of degrees. Now, I have to admit that it is the one part of the ceremony that makes me just a little bit nervous, because today our occasional speaker is the Honourable Catherine Branson QC, a former judge of the Federal Court of Australia, and Catherine assures me that if I make a mistake and give a degree to someone who's not eligible to receive it, there's nothing I can do to take it back. So I have to make absolutely certain that each of you is qualified to receive the degrees I'm about to give you today. So to get an ironclad assurance that you are eligible, I'm going to call upon the Acting Registrar, Mr. Craig Oliver, to assure me that none of you ever missed a class and none of you were ever late in submitting an assignment. Craig, can you give me that assurance, please?
Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being present here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees and diplomas they are awarded to. Would all candidates for admission to degrees or diplomas please stand?
Graduands, in the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees and diplomas for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Will you please be seated? Chancellor, the graduates at the ceremony are from Macquarie University Law School. Macquarie Law School was established in 1972 as Sydney's third law school and admitted its first students in 1975. A hallmark of all their programs is a commitment to the interdisciplinary study of law designed to foster a sound understanding of legal doctrine, as well as an awareness of the role of law in society and develop sense of social responsibility. Chancellor, I now call on Associate Professor Shaukat Alam, Acting Dean of Macquarie Law School, to present the graduates. Associate Professor Alam.
Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Arts whom you have admitted to degrees. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Christine Brickenstein, who studied under a co-tutel joint PhD agreement with the University of Osnabrück in Germany for a thesis entitled Foreign Seasonal Workers in Agriculture, a comparison of regulations and practices in the Pacific and in Europe. Dr. Christine Brickenstein. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of International Relations with the Master of International Trade and Commerce Law, Valerie Lauren. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Environmental Law, Alison Sheena Martin. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of International Environmental Law, Christopher Julian May. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Trade and Commerce Law, Chantal Maries Bolt-Jens. Aaron James Piang Kin Lim. Kevin Wei Yi Pang. Vladislav Stankov. Ishue Tao. Nopaan Unmerang. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Laws, Sarah Nuzula Moon. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Pishoy Meena Gobran. Lilian Leong. Stephanie Wing In Tong. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Laws with first class honors, Rebecca Claire Barrett. Natalie Claire Haynes. Hugh Morrison. Laura Susan Ponting. John Philip Zorzetto. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Alexandra Kaiser. Susanna Mary Coles. Alana Doyle. Shanchita Ekanayaka. Rachel Harrison. Harrison James Helia. Joanna Arvin. Sebastian Cabaras Jensen. Imogen Johnson. Emily Jane Kidd. Jeremy Dale Kuruch. Sean Limberg. Leslie Maroon. Stephanie Rasiti. Vincent Xavier Sell. Emma Cade Shuttleworth. Jenna Ann Smith. Alexander Trevina. Bridie Therese Verrill. James Wallace. Eliza Wally. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Media with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Carol Hakim. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology with the Bachelor of Laws with first-class honors, Shade Zahari. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Sophie Jane Reed. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Laws with first-class honors, Jared Glenn Harvey. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Rana Al-Shibli. Lauren Crossman. Blake John McEwen. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Laws with first-class honors, Melissa Rose Barnwell. Saeed Adnan Hossaini. Stefania Grazia Macaroni. Sean Mian. Nicholas Middleton. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Laws with honors. Amira Ambikaraja. Sarah Bustani. Shirali Clark. Vanessa Dabu. Ioana Filaret. Jasmine Garib. Joshua Sol Kangisa. Benjamin Krowitz. Montgomery John Lachlan. Tamina Mirabi. Anupuri. Shireen Kutami. Sherin Russell. Daniel Jordan Shaw. Kirsty Louise Tyrrell. Lois Charmaine Villarosa. Jeremy Wayne Jones. Sarah Yearly. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Stephanie Ann Dabu. Nafiz Ghazi. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Actuarial Studies with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Timon Ibrahim. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Professional Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Andre Mangasarian. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Management with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Caitlin Louise Chapman. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the Bachelor of Laws with first-class honors, Hironi Nadezhda Ashueva. Elise Bula. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Emma Jane Sponza. Rebecca Tattersall. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Monique Simone Friedlander. Olivia Rolliston. Timothy Alan Zahara. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science with the Bachelor of Laws with first-class honors, Media Balabandi. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the Bachelor of Laws with honors, Stephanie Francis. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws with first class honors, Julie Ann Gordon. And Mary Catherine Hunt. Mark Slavin. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws with honors, Christian Owen Bodell. Jemima Rose Wakefield Griffith. Meg Lillian Harrington. Linda Georgine King. Melissa Ilka Mail. Lee Jane Norton. Claire Emily Philp. Kaylee Rogers. Monica Stanley. Violetta Lupisa Tabarak. Mark Luke Woodbury. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Laws, Devashish Babe. Anshu Jagota. Daniel T. Min Lim. I present graduates admitted to the degrees of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Laws, Doha Almutiris. Karina Baranova. Isabella Barnes. Megan Brewer. Elaine Alexandria Clark. Yana Dev Kuliba. Okay, that's it. Tin. Jenna Doki. Heidi Kathleen Fulp. Alana Jutari. Rosalie Gordon. Rose Hanlon. Catherine Rose Hanlon. Laila Keely Haradin. Jessica Rose Huge. Yeshavin Ehsana Karya Wasam. Ashley Kwak. Margaret Me Lam. Nicoleta Lubadis. Olivia Lynch. Lindsay Thomas Wynne Taylor. Joe Pierce. Amala Ramarathinam. Gina Louise Salkeld. Alexandra Elizabeth Stewart. Amelia Stoabsky. Helena Wibby. Hannah Wilkins. Thomas Wilson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Psychology with the Bachelor of Laws, Vanessa Jade Border. Teresa Jane Donnelly. Samantha McNally. Catherine Louise Mans. Vanessa Sitang. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Laws, Rachel Sophie Pamela Borg. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Laws, Peter Michael Jani. Julian Adrian Conti. Brandon Ryan David. Shashank Gupta. Shadi Harb. Renia Marilyn Hamage. Julia Claridge. Nguyen Tu Lei. Olivia Lee. James Armstrong Lenton. James Michael. Catherine Victoria Pitawe. Tasneef Rafa Rahman. Johnny Son Suan Tran. Dasid Madhushanka Vitanage. Brian Clyde Wason. Francesca Sezun Wu. York Ye. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws, Stephen Vin An. Christopher Anthony Huazi. Nicholas Joy Manlai. Kabilan Amit Rajmanu. John Terry Valles. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Actuarial Studies with the Bachelor of Laws, Sarah Wanfun Tiong. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing with the Bachelor of Laws, Sochini Taranga Amarasinghe. Nathan Edward Jones. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Professional Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws, Rebecca Law. Regina Lee. Vinay Pandit. Divakaran Raghunatha Sharma. Rupkiran Kaur Sangha. Mario Roger Yo. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Management with the Bachelor of Laws, Alexandra Therese McCullough. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the Bachelor of Laws, Eleanor Mary Arifin. Amy Anastasia Barlow. Jae Young Chung. Emily Yan Ni Fan. Monica Tuwi Noin. David Pierce. Sabita Swami. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media with the Bachelor of Laws, Joshua Yui Dang. Honorina Carmen De Rey. Patrick Weng Yu Lam. Jonathan Newwin. Rebecca. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the Bachelor of Laws, Rebecca Jade Herbert. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Daniel Abraham. Angelique Catherine Askenov. Christian Edmund Allen. Sharat Banerjee. Christy Lee Barnes. Marie Catherine Chidiak. Suzanne Louise Cotta. Sing Ling Ding. Romia Ferro Dia. Patrick Robert Gallagher. Isabel Astrea Kavanagh. Rochelle Joshua Kera. Helen Hawing Kuang. Matthew Graham Macaulay. Thomas Roger Martin. Jasmine Lian Muliadi. Michael Knott. Louis Michel Dubois Parfait. Sarah Jane Reiner. Roman Ristovsky. Bikraj Singh Bhatti. Randa Taud. Carmen Tercero. Michael George Themis. Phoebe Kathleen Tongs. Carolina Vayuva. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Arts.
wasn't too bad, was it? That beautiful voice, ladies and gentlemen, belongs to Angela Brewer. And you're very fortunate to have heard Angela sing today, because on the occasions that Angela can't come, I do the singing. Would you like to hear Angela sing a little bit more? Okay. It's all very simple. You just enrol in another degree, and when you come back, we'll make sure Angela's singing then too. I think she deserves another great round of applause. And so too do our fantastic musicians over there, our organist, Dr. James Forsyth. And our trumpeter, Melanie McLaughlin. And also sitting around the side of the room are some of our alumni volunteers who come along to make sure that your graduation runs smoothly. I think they deserve a round of applause too. Well, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, as part of this graduation ceremony, we honour members of staff from the Foundation of Law program in the Faculty of Arts who have made outstanding contributions to student learning at Macquarie University. I now call the Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Bruce Doughton, to read the citation. Professor Doughton.
Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to invite Mr. George Thomasy, Ms. Sarah Bending Thomasy, of 2 days marriage to Mr. George Thomasy, and Ms. Catherine Greentree to come forward. Chancellor, the Foundations of Law program is a 2013 winner of the Vice-Chancellor's Award for programs that enhance student learning. The Foundations of Law program provides a low-risk, entry-level learning environment for students and facilitates learning and the development of skills at a student's own pace. It marks a transition from a competitive learning environment to a competency-based learning environment. The ungraded assessment policy ensures that students acquire knowledge and skills and demonstrates their acquisition before proceeding to the next level of the unit. The anxiety of performance is reduced by the resubmit until you pass assessment regime. Learning is also scaffolded by integrating different aspects of academic literacy into specially created videos on the UniWise aligned with each assessment task. Thus, the Foundations of Law program focuses not only on the transition to university, improving the student learning experience, but also the integration of academic literacy within the curriculum. Chancellor, I present to you 3 truly worthy recipients of the Vice-Chancellor's Award for programs that enhance student learning. The designers and implementers of the Foundations of Law program, Mr. George Thomasy, Ms. Sarah Bending, and Ms. Catherine Greentree from the Macquarie Law School in the Faculty of Arts. Please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, it's also our pleasure at today's ceremony to honour, in accordance with a resolution of the University Council, the Honourable Catherine Branson QC for admission to the degree of Doctor of Letters Honoris Causa of Macquarie University. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Doughton, to read the citation. Professor Doughton.
I ask the Honourable Catherine Branson QC to please stand for the citation. The Honourable Catherine Branson QC is one of Australia's leading legal minds and a passionate advocate and supporter of human rights. She graduated from the University of Adelaide with the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws, where she subsequently served as a member of the Faculty of Law. She worked in private practice in the 1970s and began what would become a long and distinguished career in public service in 1976. In 1978, she began working as a solicitor in the Office of the Crown Solicitor of South Australia, and in 1984, the Attorney General of South Australia appointed her to the dual positions of Crown Solicitor of South Australia and Secretary of the Attorney General's Department. She was appointed as a Queen's Counsel in 1992 and ascended to the bench of the Federal Court of Australia in 1994, by which time she also served as a member of the Board of Examiners of the Supreme Court of South Australia, as a council member of the University of South Australia and a trustee of the Adelaide Festival Centre Trust. She had earlier been Deputy Chair of the Adelaide Medical Centre for Women and Children and a member of the National Women's Advisory Council. Her service in the Federal Court ended in 2008 when she became President of the Australian Human Rights Commission. The following year, she was also appointed as Human Rights Commissioner by the Australian Government. She held both positions until the year 2009, and in that role was described as a passionate advocate who fought for the rights of all Australians, particularly those the most vulnerable in our society. As President of that organisation, Ms. Branson has led the Commission's increased role in building greater understanding and respect for human rights in our community, a key plank of Australia's human rights framework. Ms. Branson is a past president of the Australian Institute for Judicial Administration, a former member of the Board of Management of International Development Law Organisation, a governmental organisation based in Rome, enjoying observer status at the United Nations. She's a member of the International Association of Judges, a member of the International Association of Refugee Law Judges, and convener of the latter association's Human Rights Nexus Working Party. Chancellor, it is with extraordinary pleasure that I present to you a distinguished Australian, the Honourable Catherine Branson, QC, for the award of the degree Doctor of Letters Honoris Causa.
The Honourable Catherine Margaret Branson QC, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters Honoris Causa. Congratulations, Dr. Branson. I now invite Dr. Catherine Branson QC to deliver the occasional address. Dr. Branson.
Thank you, Chancellor. Vice-Chancellor, members of the academic profession, distinguished guests, graduates, families and friends. Let me first thank Chris for his welcome to country and join others who've spoken in acknowledging the Darug people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I pay my respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to other Indigenous guests present today. Let me first thank the Council for the great honour it has done me today. I greatly appreciate this honour, Chancellor. It's an additional honour to have been invited to give a short address to those of you who've graduated today. I extend my congratulations to you all, and also to your families and friends who've supported you through what I know must have been a number of hard years of study. I hope you long reap the benefits of your education, while of course remembering that your education will never be complete. Looking at you, I see how much things have changed since I was a university student in the 1960s. Let me illustrate my point by telling you a story. I initially enrolled at Adelaide University to study law, being one of only 10% of the student body entering law that was female. And I didn't even plan to be a lawyer. I enrolled in law, oddly, to get access to the 2 arts subjects taught in its first year. Why I had to do that is too complicated to tell you today. But my plan was to move then in the following year to complete a BA majoring in psychology in the then Faculty of Arts. But at the end of the first year, I found I was only one of 20 of 110 students who'd passed all of their first-year subjects in law at the first attempt. So I thought, well, why am I thinking of giving this up? Maybe I've found something that I can do well. So I had the benefit of a Commonwealth scholarship that would pay my fees. So I went to my parents and I said, look, I think rather than leaving the Faculty of Law, I'll take a combined degree so that I'll end up with the degrees of law and also a degree in arts. And I remember with perfect clarity what my father said to me, with my mother's agreement. He said, that's lovely, dear. And when you finish those degrees, we'll very happily pay for you to go to secretarial college. Because you'd be bound to get a job as a secretary for a good lawyer. Now, I don't tell this story to be critical of my parents. Ours was a conservative rural family, and their vision of how I might spend their life was deeply influenced by their own experiences. In their experience, rural girls married rural men and didn't work thereafter. Professional careers were not for them. It isn't easy to look at a world in which you've lived all of your life and envisage how it might be different, and better. There are, of course, exceptional people throughout history who have been able to do that, and they tend to be people that we admire most deeply. I think, for example, of Mary Wollstonecraft, who long ago envisaged a world in which men and women could live in perfect intellectual equality. Just how remarkable a woman Mary was is made plain when we think that her book was published in 1792. Another excellent example of what I have in mind is Martin Luther King Jr., who in 1963 spoke of his dream of an America in which his 4 little children would be judged not by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character. Of course, it's not open to many of us to be Wollstonecrafts or Kings, but especially those of us with the benefit of a good education should be able to identify injustice when we see it And on a small scale, think of how we can improve the world in which we are. The distinguished lawyer and philosopher, Professor Martha Nussbaum, has defended the teaching of liberal arts, of which law is such a critical part, by explaining that the goal of education is not just to produce economically productive individuals. She has pointed out that there is a social value in any democracy, in individuals being able to think critically and in being knowledgeable and empathetic citizens. And she has observed that the loss of the abilities to make sound judgments and to criticise authority and to sympathise with the marginalised and the different jeopardises the health of democracies and our hope of a decent world. As you leave this fine university, as liberal arts graduates, whatever the degree you took today, I urge you to be empathetic citizens in the sense described by Professor Nussbaum. Citizens who critically examine attitudes that inform the culture in which we live and the decisions and rhetoric of our leaders. Citizens who understand that a society is to be judged by how it treats its weakest and most vulnerable members. Citizens who do not stand by when others are being bullied, subjected to racial slurs, or judged according to stereotypes rather than by reference to their individual merit. In short, to be citizens who grasp the importance of a free, a just, and inclusive society, and who do what they can in their own sphere to see this vision achieved. Thank you.
Well, graduates, I'm sure you'll agree that you've been very privileged to have such a distinguished Australian give the occasional address at your graduation. And of course what Dr. Branson says is right, things do change, but they only change if people make them change, and that requires people to be good citizens. I hail from the same era as Dr. Branson. I was at university in the 1960s, and believe it or not, even in the 1960s, women in the Australian public service had to resign when they got married. The 1960s, can you believe that? So things change, and they change much more rapidly than you think they might. But again, they only change when people make them change. I think Dr. Branson needs another great round of applause for a great occasional address. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie, but it's certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of 150,000 Macquarie alumni now spanning the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support, and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And please, graduates, do make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study, to attend alumni events, use our aquatic or fitness facilities, or even, if the mood takes you, as it sometimes does, to come back with some friends and simply enjoy a picnic down by our lake. Well, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either. because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or a kind gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you have enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, to go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Now, graduates, I hope also that you'll also always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today. So, to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. Graduates, would you please stand? Now I'd like you to put your degrees on the seats behind you so that your hands are free. And now I'd like you to turn around to face your family and your friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Well, now, graduates, you can pick up your degrees so you don't leave them behind. And you can turn around, but don't sit down because we'll be leaving in just a moment. There are also some people on the dais who I'm sure you'd like to thank for their contribution, and they're, of course, the representatives of our academic staff. Give them a great round of applause, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the official party will now leave the graduation hall through the centre aisle, and will be followed by all of the graduates. I would invite everyone to now please stand. And please remain standing until the last of the graduates have processed out. And then I invite all of you to join us in the marquee overlooking the lake for some light refreshments. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Graduates, good luck.